I mean, like when something goes wrong, something fails, the usual thing and the best thing that someone undergoing it is to be able to learn from it and rise out of it, be a positive person, and because you have gone through that bad chapter or that thing in life, you would tend to help others.
I'm Parkson, a father and grandfather, a relationship coach, and author of The Modern Day Dad.
And I'm Hafiz, a father of 4, a transformational coach, and a dad in progress.
We Are Dads Too is a podcast for fathers by fathers. Each week we have conversations about different aspects of fathering. We will also be talking with experts to get their opinions or have other dads to join us too.
Because we are dads too, we understand the challenges dads face. Our children grow up way too fast, so we need to take effective action that involves personal and lasting change for our children and also for ourselves. Let's go on a transformational journey together because we are dads too.
Today we have a more serious topic, and that is about fathering after divorce. And we have a guest here, and his name is Ronnie. He has been divorced for 3 years, and he has a 6-year-old daughter who is living with his ex-wife. So welcome, Ronnie, and thank you for coming and sharing your story with us and your experience of fathering after divorce.
We have been talking about what happened before the divorce and leading to the divorce. But I think let's go on a positive note now. What can divorced parents, especially dads, do after divorce? Especially when the issue of custody, issue of now the child has to exist in two worlds, the world of the daddy and the world of the mummy, and having perspective of the children as well, not just us parents. Maybe we can explore that with our guest, Ronnie.
Yeah, so Ronnie, right now you're only given, in terms of access, on a fortnightly basis to spend one kind of almost 24 hours with your child on a fortnightly basis. How do you feel about that?
I would say not enough. Humans will always tend to not be happy with what they have. So I would say not enough.
Yeah, I mean, we're talking about, 7 days a week, 24 hours, 24/7, reduced to 24 hours on a fortnightly basis, which means it's only 12 hours a week. How many percent is that, right? So we're talking about just a small fraction of the kind of time you used to have. So before the divorce, you do spend lots of time with your child, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So now you're only given 12 hours a week or 24 hours over a fortnight. How much would you wish to have?
Why not 50-50
Ah,
in a week? Otherwise, we can do it 50-50. Why not 4 days and then 3 days for the other party?
What can be done, or what is it achievable? Is it something that allowable to get a 50-50 arrangement between father and mother?
I'm not sure. I've not heard of such arrangement. 50-50. Yeah. Usually, I think the concern, the talk is about usually care and control. Yeah. So usually it goes to the mother if the child is below 7. Barring whatever the background or the divorce. Yeah. So I've not heard of a fair number of days.
What would be a best case scenario on your part? Do you see how many percent probably that you will get?
I would say, again, I would prefer a fair share of number of days with the child, because like I mentioned, I think it's only fair that the parents the child belongs to them. I mean, the two of them, and parents should have a equal share of this, so that the child doesn't feel that one of them is missing, so that the child is able to be aware that he or she still has her parents with her or with him. Yeah.
I think, Paksan, this is, I think, quite interesting issue that I think we sometimes overlook. Right? I mean, we're talking about changing roles of parents, fathers, mother, and now we are sharing roles. Our laws outdated. I mean, it's for another day for us to discuss probably. But looking at, I think hearing from Ronnie, right? The commitment that he's, expressing to have more time with the children, with his child, seems to be worth for the powers that be to reconsider, this aspect of can only a mother nurture a child, the father? We probably have to look at case-to-case basis, not just, sweeping men and women as one or the other. Men as the bring that, the one that provide the finance, and the wife that is the nurturer. Right. So
that's right.
It's maybe something that we can look forward to in the future. Because we are dads too,
We definitely look forward to, but I think we also can work towards it.
Yeah.
Because nothing will change until some action is taken, or some awareness is created about this issue. And it is definitely an issue because on one hand, we are trying to tell fathers, hey, your child needs you. You need to be more involved. Your presence, your involvement has very great positive impact on their development, and in terms of their wholesome, holistic development. But here, on the other hand, 55% of divorces involve children under the age of 21, and many of them will be separated from their fathers for the rest of their lives, practically. And so we are, in a sense, shooting ourselves in the foot. All right, we are contradicting ourselves, and we are going against the movement, the fathering movement in Singapore and worldwide. So I think, is it outdated? Maybe it is, or at least we are not as informed by research as we ought to be, and so our decisions, I don't know what it's based on, but I can partly understand, that probably they are thinking that for a child to be spending equal amount or somehow a more or less balanced amount of time with both parents shuttling back and forth can be logistically challenging, can be confusing to the child. But who's to say that? Because no one has tried it, or very few people have tried it. And those who tried it actually says it works. Okay, it's doable, it works. It's in fact beneficial, and some researchers have actually interviewed adult children of divorce. That means they are about 18 years old or older, and to ask them what they felt. About 70 or more % of them said that for them to spend equitable time with both parents, or to have a good relationship with both parents, is definitely something they wish they had and would be beneficial for them. And so that is right from the mouths of the children of divorce, you see. Right. And so I think if the young child, who is caught in a divorce when the parents are divorcing, is not given a voice, but here we have children of divorce older in their adulthood, telling us that this is what they wish they had, and this would be something they would probably benefit them. I think we should listen. I think we should listen and really give that a quite substantial weight, and make that a big consideration when we make decisions about the future of children in divorce.
Yeah, all the more we should be upbeat on this. And I think I appreciate, Ronnie, you come on board here because the road is long,
Yeah.
it's uncertain, but we are sure that things will change. All right, so let's talk about your own experience, right, in trying to manage that 10% of time that you have now. All right, how do you make the best out of it?
Yeah, I totally have my example for whole week of work, a tiring week of work. I mentally or I change my mindset that I'm a father, a totally committed father. Yeah, so first of all, my attention is just on my child. I do plan activities way ahead before I reach that weekend that I'm afforded that time with her, and also be able to spare some time to guide her in her studies. As you know, she's still young and she's still learning the basic ABCs or spelling or simple maths problem sum. So yeah, with that limited time, I make the best of it. So I'm doing what a father that is in a complete and normal marriage should be doing. So despite I have a broken marriage, I still, with that limited time, just do what I'm supposed to do as a father.
Would you say that you are more intentional now than before?
Yes, more
Okay.
intentional.
Yeah, I think we are humans, right?
Yeah.
When we have something in front of us, time especially, wealth of time, we tend to take for granted. But when it starts, like age also lah, it start, that we are, much, much senior, start going away from us, losing it one by one, and we begin to realize that not much time left or not much thing left. We begin to be more value. We treat the time as more precious.
Yes.
And probably there's a blessing in that. And I think this whole journey of divorced parents, right, can only go one way, all right, which is to look at the positives rather than going deep into the abyss of, again, the word broken marriage, divorce, family, and not only affect the couple as individuals, but the children.
Yes.
So maybe you want to share further. Only when you said you're tired, right? And now you feel that a lot of time is being spent with your children, despite you being tired from your work, and so on, and yet you're able to do it. Okay, so what are the habits that you have that you have changed? Certain habits that you had last time that you have changed, that you do today that you didn't do last time. Any examples?
Yeah. First of all, I've mentioned about being a better version of yourself. Perhaps I was very self-centered and negative in many ways. So it's like a wake-up call. I became aware of. I mean, like when something goes wrong, something fails. The usual thing and the best thing that someone undergoing it is to be able to learn from it, rise out of it, be a positive person, and because you have gone through that bad chapter or that bad thing in life, you would tend to help others. Yeah, somehow for me, I meet a lot of people with similar kind of hardships. Yeah, so you tend to be more of, apart from, like I mentioned, being a better version of yourself, you became less selfish, I would say. Yeah, because you know how hard it is to go through hardship. Yeah.
So now your focus is on your child. Is that would I be right to say that?
Yeah.
But you also need to focus on yourself, I guess.
Focus on myself is being a better version of myself, and what I've heard, like usually fathers after divorce will move on to another relationship.
Yeah, that was going to be my next question actually.
Seems like it. I know you were inclined towards it.
Yeah. Is that in your mind? Is that in your plan? You know, maybe not in the near future, but at least somewhere down the road, you're open to that.
Right now, not at the moment. But I'm open to it. Yeah. But I feel, to be honest, I do my child injustice if I do move on so quickly to another relationship.
Can you elaborate on that?
Simply put, the time that perhaps if I move on to another relationship, that I can focus on my child, but instead I focus on the partner, so I become selfish all over again. Am I right?
I see.
Yeah.
Okay, I think I know what you mean. You're feeling that by entering another relationship, you are meeting your needs, but at the same time, your child needs you, and has needs that you can meet or you should be meeting. So yeah, okay, but yeah, we do have to take care of ourselves also. So maybe what you're thinking is when your child is a bit older, right? And then that's the time that you will be. You might think, okay, she's older now. She's more or less able to take care of herself and doesn't need me as much. Doesn't mean I will be out of her life. Then that's maybe the time that you can begin to explore another relationship.
I would say when she's older and able to understand what a positive relationship is like. So I would foresee that perhaps if I do move on to another relationship, she will understand that that's a better one. That's a better relationship, positive relationship for my father.
Okay, so you are wanting to model a positive husband-wife relationship for her to see, right? Because the one that she had experienced or seen wasn't so positive. Okay, that's a good thing. Yeah, I think that's important because the only marriage that everyone knows is their own parents. That's the one they've seen from inside out. They have insider information. Okay, yeah. I think the other issue is also, when a parent who has divorced, a child's parents divorce and then they remarry. The question now is, what is the child expected to do with that new partner? Right? Does the child have to call that person mommy or daddy, for example? Have you thought of that?
I do.
Yeah. So, what are your thoughts?
It will be. I usually when I am faced with such questions, I will usually put myself in a child's shoes. I will put in her shoes in this case, and I will feel. I would say I will feel unhappy. Because, like I mentioned, time spent with that other person, the new person, could actually be spent on me as a child. But that's why it's important that if you were to move on to another relationship, that it should come at the right time. When the child is older and able to understand. And I think we mentioned about moving on to a positive relationship that your child can see and experience is also for his or her own good. So that, let's say, when she has her own, she's in a relationship, that she's able to identify what is positive and negative, what is toxic and a healthy one.
I suppose now you benefit from hindsight. I see that you're not closing the door to a new partner, but you look it as now more a holistic perspective and not just from your perspective, it's your children's perspective. And one of the ways, probably one day when the children, as you said, has grown up, you probably, one of the key criteria is whether she agrees, to that new relationship.
Yeah.
I mean, whether she has, you get her buy-in, because you're so concerned that, it will, not that the same thing will happen, but your priority would be to create, a new chapter, right? That hopefully overcome the bad chapter in her life, and more importantly, when she grows up, that modeling will help, or the right modeling will help her, live a even better life and experience, for herself.
To address maybe certain patterns or certain cycles that possibly unconsciously or subconsciously that we children, I mean, like we growing up, we see and we tend to model, or we tend to recreate that kind of experience faced by our parents. Meaning that if they were unhappy in a marriage, chances are, because as a child growing up, you don't know what is a healthy relationship, you would be in a wrong relationship. So talking about cycles, it is something that we have to look into. Possibly the things that we get into are created, from our childhood.
Yeah, I think it's also a very interesting pattern. This is, I've noticed is quite true, is that, girls, when they grow up and they are looking for a life partner, a husband, many tend to find a guy who is very like the father.
Is this based on theory, based on research?
It's an observed
anecdotes?
trend. It is an observed trend.
Oh.
Okay, and I can say, quite confidently say, my daughter is one such person. Our son-in-law is pretty much like me. Okay, very quiet. He's much smarter than I am, unfortunately.
So humble, very humble.
So that part is the positive.
That is a positive.
Still positive, right? No problem.
The girl will choose a guy like the father, but better.
Better.
Better in some ways. Okay.
So girls out there, if you're listening, daughters out there, you know what to do.
Yes.
And look at your parent, you look at your father, and choose a better person.
No, for good or bad. I mean, for good or bad. You have heard of girls growing up with an alcoholic father, and when they get married to a guy, they tend to marry an alcoholic. You see, or abuse, for example. So it goes both ways.
Or otherwise they recreate or replicate that habit.
Because to them it's a norm. They've grown up in that environment.
Yes.
To them it's a norm. So when they start a new family, that is the only norm they know, and therefore they are able to accept it. To them it's not a problem. Although they know somehow it's not right. They're suffering for it, but because it's a norm, they are able to cope with it, and they just embrace it and go on with life. You see, until they know, and someone helps them to see something different, and that there's a better alternative, they will be just stuck there. Okay, so what you're doing is really commendable. It's something. It's definitely the right thing, and because you want to be a better version of yourself, so that when your daughter sees my daddy is like that, and the kind of guy she will be drawn to, attracted to, and will choose as her life partner in the future, she has a point of reference. She says, this is the kind of guy I want to look for. So well done.
So on the other side, I was calling out for the daughters, not calling out for the daddies out there. All right, you want your daughters, all right, to choose a good husband, better partner than you. Right, we better shape up. All right, if not, don't blame, or don't really. You have to realize that it's a psyche there. There's a psychology there. There's the thing about being in the comfort zone and able to take the risk. So it is a very interesting, to me, realization for me especially.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, Ronnie, thank you very much for coming on this program and sharing your experience. I I can tell it's not easy for you to share, but thank you for doing that, because I'm sure many fathers who are in your same shoes or in the same position will find comfort and encouragement, just to hear someone else talking about it. And I think there is a place where divorced fathers can come together, and not just to reinforce each other's negativity and bitterness, but to help each other move beyond that, to recover, to heal, so that they all become better persons as well, because the world needs them, right? The world needs every single person. No one should be a liability to the society. We all should be assets to the society, doing good, helping one another, and contributing to the welfare and the well-being of everyone else. So you are doing great job.
Yeah, it speaks of what you want to do just now, right? You say to really contribute back, to be less selfish, and we call out really your courage, your sincerity, right? To share, and I think we need more. All right, fathers out there, if you think that you're alone, you think that keeping to yourself the issues that are burdening you, all right, it's time for you to look at the other side, all right, and be positive. Work towards first self-awareness, right, and then creating the better version of yourself for the sake of your children.
I would say don't give up. There's life beyond divorce, and at the moment, if you're facing a divorce or any hardship, perhaps, it doesn't have to be a divorce, whatever hardship, don't give up, and there's always a light at the end of the tunnel.
And I believe also when you stop helping others, giving others hope, the same thing will come back to you.
True. We have to support each other, of course. So life is not always negative. Just look at the positive side of any hardships.
That growth mindset again, right?
Growth mindset. That's right.
Okay, thank you very much, Ronnie. Right, Paksan?
Yes.
We had a good show.
Yep. Very, very good talk. Very important subject. Okay, so till the next time.
Yes.
We are Dads 2 saying goodbye.
Goodbye, everyone. This podcast is brought to you by Iman Catalyst Community, which is missioned to elevate hope by transforming lives through social education initiatives as well as personal development programs. We are the medium that come in between NGOs and their beneficiaries to enhance their sustainability and impact. If you'd like to know more, connect, and collaborate with us, you can reach us at Facebook and Instagram at Iman Catalyst. That's spelled EMAAN. And we would like to work and partner with you.
Thank you so much for tuning to this week's conversation. We hope that this episode helped you in your transformational journey as dads. If you like this podcast, make sure you review, follow, and share it with your friends. For more episodes and resources on fathering, check us out at We Are Dads 2 on Facebook and Instagram.
We would also like to hear your comments and questions, so please feel free to share them on our FB and IG pages and also our Twitter, and be connected to other dads too. Until next time, let's take the next step to be the special dad we are meant to be. Take care and stay safe.